My beloved child, there is something your heart has been sensing for a long time, but your mind kept trying to silence it. Tonight, the truth is moving closer to you than ever before. Someone has been carrying emotions they could barely put into words. Every time your name appeared in their thoughts, a wave of warmth followed. Every memory, every small moment, every unfinished conversation stayed alive inside them far longer than they expected. And recently, something changed. They stopped pretending those feelings were temporary. Don't skip this moment, because what is about to be revealed could explain the strange energy you've been feeling lately. The silence between you was never empty. Beneath it, emotions were growing quietly, deeply, and powerfully. Your soulmate has been hiding their true feelings behind careful smiles, delayed messages, and moments where they almost opened their heart, but pulled back at the last second. Not because they didn't care. Because they cared too much. There was one specific moment they could not forget. A simple exchange. A look. A sentence you may not even remember saying. But to them, it felt different from anything they had experienced before. It stayed in their mind late at night when the world became quiet. And that is when they realized something that surprised even them. You became the person they compared everyone else to. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. A hidden truth is finally beginning to rise to the surface, and the next part reveals the exact reason they could no longer hide what they truly feel. There is a reason your soul felt pulled back here today. Your soulmate recently reached a moment where their emotions became impossible to ignore. They tried distracting themselves. They tried acting normal. But no matter where life carried them, their thoughts kept returning to you like a song repeating in the background of their heart. And then, something unexpected happened. Someone asked them about love. Not casually. Not jokingly. A real conversation. The kind that catches people off guard and reveals what they truly feel beneath the surface. And without even realizing it, they began describing you. Your kindness. Your energy. The way you made them feel understood without forcing anything. In that moment, they accidentally revealed feelings they had hidden for so long. The silence after that conversation stayed with them all night. Because for the first time, they stopped running from the truth. You matter to them in a way they cannot easily explain. Don't skip this part, because the next revelation changes everything. There is something they have been wanting to say directly to you, but fear kept holding the words inside. Not fear of rejection, fear that once the truth is spoken, nothing between you will ever feel ordinary again. And deep down, they know it already doesn't. Lately, they have been replaying your memories in private moments nobody else sees. A laugh. A message. A feeling they thought would fade but only became stronger with time. Something huge is building quietly behind the scenes. And in the next part, you'll discover the secret sign that finally convinced them this connection was never random. A quiet shift has already begun, even if you cannot fully see it yet. Your soulmate has started noticing signs of you everywhere. Certain songs suddenly feel connected to your memory. Random moments remind them of your voice, your presence, your energy. What once felt like coincidence now feels deeply personal to them. And that realization unsettled them in the most beautiful way. Because the more they tried to deny these feelings, the stronger they became. One evening, while everyone around them carried on as usual, they found themselves completely lost in thought about you. Not for a second. Not for a moment. For hours. They wondered what your future looks like, who stands beside you, who truly understands your heart. And for the first time, they imagined themselves in that place. Stay till the end, because this next truth is something they have never admitted out loud. They are no longer afraid of feeling connected to you. What scares them now is the possibility of losing the chance to tell you. There is a sentence sitting inside their heart that they have rehearsed over and over again. They almost said it recently. They almost reached out. But at the last moment, emotion overtook them, and they pulled back into silence again. Still, silence cannot hide genuine feelings forever. Especially not feelings this deep. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next part reveals the emotional moment that finally made them realize you are not just someone passing through their life, you are someone who changed it completely. Not long ago, they experienced a moment that completely caught them off guard. In the middle of an ordinary day, your memory appeared so strongly that everything around them seemed to pause. The noise faded. The distractions disappeared. And suddenly, all they could think about was how different life felt after meeting you. That was the moment their heart finally stopped pretending. They realized you were never just another connection. You became the calm they searched for during difficult moments, the thought that brought comfort when the world felt distant, the person whose presence lingered long after conversations ended. And what shook them most was this. They began noticing how empty certain moments felt without you there to share them. Don't skip what comes next, because this revelation carries more emotion than they expected to face. Recently, they opened an old conversation, reread your words, and sat there in silence longer than they wanted to admit. Every sentence reminded them of how naturally connected they feel to you. No forcing. No pretending. Just something real that kept pulling them back. That realization became impossible to escape. Now they are standing between two choices: continue hiding their emotions, or finally let you see the truth they have carried inside for so long. And deep down, they already know which choice their heart wants to make. Something huge is approaching quietly. In the next part, the hidden reason they kept their feelings secret will finally come into the light, and it may change the way you see this entire connection. Behind their silence was never a lack of feeling, it was the intensity of it. Your soulmate kept their emotions hidden because what they felt for you became deeper than they were prepared for. They feared saying too much too soon. They feared becoming vulnerable in a way they had never allowed themselves to be before. But the truth kept finding ways to escape. Through the way they watched your words more carefully than anyone else's. Through the way your happiness secretly mattered to them. Through the way your absence created a silence they could not explain to anyone around them. There was even a moment recently when someone noticed the change in them. A small smile appeared when your name came up. Their eyes softened without realizing it. And in that instant, the feelings they tried so hard to hide became visible. Even they were surprised by how obvious it had become. Stay till the end, because the next revelation holds the emotional turning point they can no longer ignore. Late at night, when everything becomes quiet, they think about what could happen if they finally told you everything. Not just a piece of the truth, all of it. The admiration. The longing. The emotional connection that kept growing in silence. And every time they imagine that moment, their heart moves closer to courage. Something huge is waiting just ahead. Because in the next part, you will discover the unexpected event that made them realize this connection may have entered their life for a reason far greater than chance. A moment arrived recently that felt far too meaningful for them to ignore. It was small on the outside, but unforgettable inside their heart. They heard something that reminded them of you, and suddenly every emotion they had buried came rushing back at once. The memories. The unanswered feelings. The quiet hope they kept trying to hide even from themselves. And in that instant, they stopped asking whether these feelings were real. They already knew the answer. Your soulmate has begun seeing your connection differently now. Not as a passing emotion. Not as a temporary attachment. But as something that entered their life at exactly the right moment, changing them in ways they never expected. You inspired softness in a guarded heart. You created peace in places where they once felt uncertain. And the deeper they reflect on it, the more they realize how rare that feeling truly is. Don't skip this next part, because something huge is beginning to unfold emotionally behind the scenes. Recently, they almost sent you a message they had rewritten many times before. A message filled with honesty they were terrified to reveal. They stared at the screen, heart racing, wondering if this was finally the moment everything would change between you. But before pressing send, they paused. Not because the feelings disappeared. Because they suddenly understood how powerful those words really were. And now, the truth inside them is becoming too strong to stay hidden much longer. The next part reveals the private realization that finally convinced them they cannot keep pretending you are just someone in their life anymore. Something inside them has reached a breaking point of honesty. Your soulmate can no longer look at this connection the way they once did. What started as curiosity became comfort. What felt uncertain became unforgettable. And now, every attempt to treat you like just another person quietly falls apart the moment they think about you too deeply. Because no one else affects their heart the way you do. There was a recent night when they sat alone with their thoughts, replaying moments they shared with you one by one. The strange part was not the memories themselves. It was the emotion attached to them. Every small detail still carried meaning. The way you listened. The way you understood things they never explained fully. The way your presence brought a feeling they had searched for in other places but never truly found. Stay till the end, because the next truth changes the emotional direction of everything. For the first time, they admitted something to themselves they had been avoiding for a long time. They are emotionally attached to you far more deeply than they planned. And once that realization entered their heart, nothing felt the same afterward. Now they catch themselves imagining conversations that haven't happened yet. Future moments. Honest confessions. The possibility of finally standing in front of you without hiding what they feel anymore. Something huge is waiting closer than you think. Because in the next part, the secret signal they have been giving without realizing it will finally be revealed, and once you notice it, you may never see their actions the same way again. There is a hidden pattern in their behavior that suddenly makes everything clearer. Your soulmate has been revealing their feelings in ways so subtle, even they may not fully realize it. The pauses before replying, the way they remember tiny details about you, the quiet attention they give to your words when everyone else misses them. These were never random actions. They were emotional clues. And lately, those clues have become impossible to hide. When they hear good news, they think about telling you. When something meaningful happens, your presence enters their mind almost instantly. Even during busy moments, there is a part of them still emotionally connected to you in silence. That is not ordinary. That is someone whose heart has already chosen where it feels most understood. Don't skip this moment, because something huge is beginning to rise emotionally between you both. Recently, they caught themselves smiling at the thought of you for no reason at all. No conversation. No message. Just the memory of your energy appearing unexpectedly and changing their entire mood. And that moment frightened them a little. Because they realized your influence on their heart is becoming undeniable. Now they are standing closer than ever to revealing everything they truly feel. The walls are weakening. The hesitation is fading. And the emotions they once hid so carefully are beginning to surface naturally. The next part uncovers the powerful realization that finally convinced them this connection deserves a real chance, and it may be the most emotional truth of all. A deep realization has been growing inside them quietly, day after day. Your soulmate finally understands that some connections are too meaningful to keep at a distance forever. No matter how much time passes, no matter how carefully they try to stay composed, their heart keeps returning to the same truth. You feel different. Not because everything is perfect, but because being connected to you feels genuine in a world where so much feels temporary. Recently, they imagined what life would look like if they never revealed their feelings to you. And instead of peace, they felt regret. A heavy sense that they would always wonder what could have happened if they had simply been honest. That thought changed something inside them. Stay till the end, because the final revelation is closer than ever now. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that vulnerability is not weakness. That opening their heart may actually be the very thing capable of transforming this connection into something unforgettable. And the most emotional part of all? They no longer want to hide the truth from you. The feelings they once buried are now rising to the surface naturally. Their heart is becoming louder than their fear. Every passing day brings them closer to a moment they once thought they would avoid forever. A real confession. A real emotional shift. A moment where silence finally gives way to honesty. Something huge is waiting for you in the final part, because the next message reveals what they truly wish you knew about the love they have been carrying in secret this entire time. The moment your soulmate feared, is now the moment they secretly hope for most. After all the silence, all the hesitation, all the hidden emotions they tried to keep locked away, one truth remains stronger than everything else. Their heart keeps choosing you. Not out of impulse. Not out of loneliness. But because something about your presence awakened emotions they cannot replace or forget. You became the person who brought light into ordinary moments. The person whose energy lingered long after conversations ended. The person who made them feel seen in a way they had quietly wished for all along. And now, they are finally ready to stop pretending those feelings are small. Because they are not small at all. Don't skip these final words, because this may be the emotional message your heart was waiting to hear from the very beginning. If your soulmate could speak without fear, this is what they would say. You changed.